Just give me a moment whilst we're getting set up. But today's going to be an interesting session. Just waiting for the Facebook to pull through. All right, that's good to go. So just going live everywhere. We'll go live on TikTok. We'll go live on Instagram. Cool. All right. Yes, welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Wednesday today, so live session. Sorry that we're on a little bit later than build. As always, whilst traveling, things happen, things get in the way, things take longer than usual, if it's not power cuts or connection issues or just things popping up. But we're still doing our best to be here, provide the content, give you the information, give you the knowledge. So yeah, no excuses. Better late than never, right? So yeah, it's going to be an interesting session today. We're going to be covering. Well, actually, I've been getting a lot of DMs recently, a lot of questions asking, is this good for me to do? Is this not good for me to do? Should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? Someone told me to do this. Someone told me to do that. So, I made a post today talking about 5 lies that are stopping people from seeing results with their health journey. And in this live session, I wanted to just expand on that in more detail. So I wanted to cover more situations where people are doing things, thinking they're doing the right things, thinking, they're actually going out of their way and inconveniencing themselves to do certain things. And sometimes it's actually not to the good. Sometimes it is making their situation worse. So I wanted to take the time today to talk through. I've got 10 examples written down to go through. I'm sure more will come up. I'm sure you will ask questions which will bring about more different health lies or health myths to discuss. As always, we will be doing a Q&A as well. So if you do have any questions, please do write them in the comment section. Jade is here to support as well. She will be on TikTok as JD's Tooldrobe. She will be on Instagram. Oh, no? Oh, okay, wow. Rare appearance from Magic Tree on TikTok. So she will be TikTok on Magic Tree. Sorry, she will be Magic Tree Superfoods on TikTok. She will be JD Jade. No, just like Matty on Instagram and on Facebook, YouTube. She will also monitor in the comments. So if you do have any questions, keep an eye out for her on those different platforms because she will be helping to get your questions answered quickly and helping to filter them through to me. What's some housekeeping points? So yeah, Green Friday. The Green Friday or Cyber Monday sale continues. Had a super busy Green Friday. Thank you to everyone who took part, everyone in the live sessions, everyone who was just involved with us during Green Friday. Always a fun weekend, always a busy weekend. Yeah. So the Green Friday sale continues. All our healing kits are 30% off for the next week. So that is the bloating kit, the thyroid kit, the diabetes kit, the heavy metals kit, anti-herpes kit, the liver cleanse kit, the blood builder kit. I think I might have said all of them off the top of my head. Wow. We will also, and I keep promising it, and things keep coming up. I will be doing a talk actually next week in the University of East London on women's health, so fibroids, PMDD, just yeah, covering lots of different issues amongst women health. Should be a nice interactive session. So that's kind of taken priority this week, just getting prepared for that. But I do still intend to launch the ADHD kit and the kidney cleanse kit, hopefully still this week. And that will also be hopefully launching in time to join in with the Green Friday sale. So keep an eye out for that. So yeah, all of the healing kits are 30% off right now. So if you have got a liver issue, I've seen someone who just asked about chest pain, depending what that chest pain is. But these healing kits are a great place to start, particularly if you're not exactly sure what your health issue is. Oftentimes we don't need to know exactly what the issue is, but because the herbs work, comprehensively to support organ systems, you actually find they cleanse and heal a lot of these symptoms, and you don't even know what they are. And it's the beauty of using natural herbs. They don't really make things worse. So if you have chest pain, I'd probably say the respiratory rescue kit or the nootropic brain boost would be the best option. The nootropic brain boost would be supporting the bronchial nerves. The respiratory rescue would be supporting the lungs, the airflow, your alveoli, your sinuses as well. But yeah, um, any other housekeeping points? Okay, cool. All right, let's get into today's session then. Yes, please. We'll probably do probably about 30 minutes just going through the different myths to go through. If there's Q&A questions, I'll kind of throw them in if they're on topic. If they are completely separate, then we'll do them at the end. And yeah, that's the way we'll do it. Okay, cool. So let's start with apple cider vinegar. Let's start apple cider vinegar. Because, I hear it all the time. I'm on consultations. A lot of the time in consultations, people are looking to lose weight because, weight gain is a sign, or weight gain is commonly associated with chronic issues because when you have weight gain, you have high cholesterol. It's more likely to, thank you, you're more likely to have high blood pressure. You're more likely to have hypoxia, which is a lack of oxygen in the system. You're more likely to have toxin buildup. You're more likely to have heavy metals. So it's not to say weight gain causes chronic issues directly, but there is a high correlation between the two, which is why a lot of people, when they come to see me, they are also working on weight loss, which is fine. And one of the tools that people use for weight loss is apple cider vinegar. And this is a dangerous one because apple cider vinegar is highly effective in terms of supporting weight loss. It does curb blood sugar, it does improve insulin sensitivity in that sense. So on the surface, you would think I can drink the apple cider vinegar, I can do it daily, and there should be no adverse side effects. And you look on social media, you look on YouTube, and most of the time, people are just saying apple cider vinegar is great, and if you're concerned about it damaging your teeth, just drink a straw. That's all they say, really. What you need to know, and this is medical medium information. So this is born from medical medium information, rationalized by myself, and when you think about it logically, it just makes sense. Sorry, I did a breathe it like an anti. I watched an Instagram video about how to prevent a heart attack if you're alone, and it was like take deep breaths and cough. And then I was doing it to practice just in case, and now I've got this cough, so not great before life, but yeah, if I need to sip, that's why. But anyway, cool. The problem with apple cider vinegar is it is vinegar. It is acidic. And when you have excessive amounts of vinegar, it does a few different things. One, it pickles the liver. The liver does not like vinegar. The liver does not like acids. The liver does not like alcohol. These are all things that preserve. They don't. The liver does not like these preserving factors. Glycerin is another preserve. You think about all the things that are in, say, what could you put pickles in? You can put pickle. What could you put fish in? The liver does not like these things. You think of oil because that's a preservative, glycerin. You think of alcohol. You can preserve things in alcohol. You think of salt water, brine. These are all things that burden the liver. You do not want these things. They pickle the liver. But also when we're talking about the vinegar, oh, thank you. I'm a bit blurry. When we're talking about the vinegar, when we're talking about the vinegar, it also leaches calcium from healthy cells. So that could be bones, that could be teeth. So it's not just the vinegar burning the enamel, burning through the enamel, it's also leaching the calcium directly from your teeth, directly from your bones. If you do 10, 20 years of chronic apple cider vinegar every morning, you're making yourself prone to, a thinning skull. You're making yourself prone to hip fractures. You're making yourself prone to joint issues, to knee problems. These are not things you want just for something as simple as losing weight. There's plenty of other ways that you can support weight loss that don't require you to ingest vinegar on a daily basis. You're already ingesting enough vinegar. You look at ketchup, you look at balsamic vinegar, you look at drizzling sauce over your salad. And this is on a healthy basis, even if like mayonnaise, all of these different vinegar on chips. you're already getting enough vinegar before having to add more vinegar. And yes, apple cider vinegar is one of the better vinegars. And yes, apple cider vinegar is great as a topical treatment. You know, if you're dealing with some foot fungus, apple cider vinegar is great. It's a powerful antifungal. You can add it into a foot bath, but it's not something you should be ingesting because the liver does not want to deal with that much vinegar. That's what you need to understand with that one. So there is a role for apple cider vinegar, especially with the mother, but not with ingesting it. You know, if you're looking for weight loss, quick, easy weight loss solutions, Brazil nuts are better, walnuts are better, moringa seeds are better, sea moss is better, black seed oil is better, ashwagandha is better, um, lemon water is better, butterfly pea flower is better. These are all things you can incorporate daily into your routine that don't have any adverse side effects if you're doing it, you know, within normal amounts. And it's not pickling the liver. They're all liver supportive. They're all helpful. The body breaks down those, even in the case of lemon water, you think, well, that's citric acid. That's going to be bad. Nope, citric acid, when it's metabolized, becomes alkaline. It actually supports your stomach acid and it supports your liver as well. So, apple cider vinegar, we can swap it out. There's so many easier alternatives. We don't need to be continuing to just cause chronic issues further down the line with apple cider vinegar. Okay. Let's do ashwagandha. I know for anyone who's watched today's video, it's only been out for about 15 minutes, so I don't suspect you have. But, you know, this was a craze that blew up mostly last year.
Sorry, just a quick question. What were you on your laptop versus the phone?
What do you mean?
Are you on
Facebook
Wi-Fi
and YouTube. Oh, I'm on your hotspot.
on the laptop too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, I'll just check.
Sorry. You keep
Yeah.
you keep checking it on for me on Instagram and TikTok, but on YouTube and then you're okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'm on YouTube on Wi-Fi. Um, yeah, ashwagandha. Um, ashwagandha kills your emotions. That was the rumor. That was what people were saying last year. It was all the rage. People would post videos saying, you know, I've ruined my life and I lost my girlfriend because I was no longer able to show emotion. Those were the videos. That's died down since, but there is important information about ashwagandha for you to understand. Now, most people on ashwagandha would am I blurring Instagram as well?
Yeah, on Instagram it completely stopped me
Oh,
and TikTok, but that's just for me on YouTube
okay.
and
Yeah,
yeah.
if anyone can't see me, just pop a comment in. If you
No,
can't,
Frank Roger, it's probably me.
oh, okay, maybe it's the Wi-Fi here. But yeah, if you can't see me, just let me know. But yeah, ashwagandha. So what you need to understand about the ashwagandha and its effect on your emotions, the KM66 variant, which is higher in with alanides, which is one of the active ingredients in ashwagandha. There is some evidence that that extract dulls emotions. Now, as long as you're not using that extract, as long as you're using the raw ashwagandha sticks or a different extract, then there is no real evidence to suggest that ashwagandha dulls your emotions. You know, we've had thousands of customers. Oh, it did end on Instagram. So we just gone off. That's weird. All right, just went off on Instagram.
I
So,
don't, you're not connected to anything on
sorry,
your phone's not connected to anything, that's probably why.
on my data.
Hmm.
I'll just check if I'm on Wi-Fi on my phone. No, I'm not connected. Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Um. Okay. Yeah. Am I live on Instagram? I think I'm live. We'll see. All right. Okay. Raja can see me in HD. Looks like
You're on TikTok.
if you're on any other platform, I would say go to TikTok because that one seems to be coming through fine. The data is a little bit sketchy. Oh, no sound now. Um,
On what TikTok?
yeah. Uh, okay. I don't know what's going on. I think the Wi-Fi might be a little bit dodgy. If anyone can't hear me or see me, let me know. Otherwise, uh, yeah. Otherwise, I'll just continue as. So yeah, we'll tell hi next time. Yeah, so we're talking about ashwagandha.
That sounds fun.
Okay, yeah, hopefully it stays. We're talking about ashwagandha, and yes, the KM66 variant does have evidence of it dulling emotions. Regular ashwagandha doesn't. I saw the question about clinical data. We haven't got clinical data. I've just got the thousands of customers, literally thousands of customers that have tried our ashwagandha. So I guess I can speak personally for our ashwagandha. I can speak more generally for other. I mean, ashwagandha is ashwagandha. It's not like we grow a specific type of ashwagandha. It does come from India, Tamil Nadu region, but it's ashwagandha, and yeah, it doesn't do that. It doesn't dull emotions. If we look at what ashwagandha actually does on a kind of biochemical level, what it does do is support your adrenal glands. You know, a lot of people like to group adaptogenic herbs under one umbrella, and they're not. You know, lion's mane, brahmi, ashwagandha, maca, they all do rhodiola. They all do different things. Even lemon balm, valerian. You know, some of them more aggressively impact your GABA receptors or your serotonin. Lion's mane and brahmi, for example, will support the vagus nerve rather than the adrenals. So that has an indirect effect on the adrenals because the vagus nerve and the adrenals work in tandem. The ashwagandha works directly on the adrenals. The maca root works directly on the adrenals. So, you know, when you look at what is the herb actually doing and what are your adrenal glands responsible for, well, your adrenal glands secrete cortisol and adrenaline. Now, cortisol and adrenaline, you know, if you secrete too much adrenaline, yes, it can have an impact on your emotions because it can fry your brain cells essentially. But ashwagandha is moderating that. It's not boosting it. So if you're someone who has low cortisol, the ashwagandha will boost it up. If you're someone who has high cortisol, then it will regulate it downwards. If you're someone who has high cortisol or low cortisol in the morning and high cortisol in the evening, which is the opposite of what you want, the ashwagandha will regulate that and reverse it back down. So it's important to understand what the herb, what the therapeutic action of the herb actually is, and then it might be the case of how are you consuming it. So this is more general when it comes to just using herbs, but we need to understand: is the herb fat soluble? Is the herb water soluble? Or sorry, are the bioactive compounds fat soluble? Are the bioactive compounds fat soluble? All of that will dictate how the herb should be consumed. Should it be consumed with food? Should it be consumed in as a tea? Should it be consumed as a tincture? All of these things play a role. And with the ashwagandha, the best thing you could probably do is blend it and put it in a smoothie with some avocado. That way, you're going to be able to absorb the fat soluble compounds. You're going to be able to use the water soluble compounds as well, the withalonides, the saponins, all of these beautiful compounds, which help you to actually got all of the benefits in terms of boosting the brain cell function, supporting the adrenal glands, enhancing your mitochondria throughout the body as well. So the ashwagandha is a super versatile herb, I find it quite frustrating when I see people just try and dumb it down to, oh, well, it dulls your emotions. It doesn't do that. It does so much more than that. But yeah, ashwagandha is that one linked on TikTok? The ashwagandha.
Link it now. Sorry,
J-
type in for a question.
Okay, cool. Jade will link the ashwagandha in a second on the TikTok, but yeah, it's available on the website. But yeah, that is perfectly safe. The ashwagandha, you do not need to be concerned about it dulling your emotions. Um,
Quick question from
yeah,
Esme, who is looking to buy from
speak
you.
up.
What should I order from you for hormonal imbalance?
Which hormones? I guess hormonal imbalance. It's a good question because it's helpful to understand. You know, when we say hormones, we tend to reduce them down to androgen hormones when we're just talking about testosterone or estrogen or progesterone, and even then, which of those hormones are imbalanced because that actually makes a difference as well. But when we talk about hormones, you know, insulin is a hormone. So is that imbalanced? Thyroid hormones. So what hormones are we actually talking about? Let's try and be specific. Let's try and um, yeah, because you know, on a more spiritual level, when we tell our, if we say I have a hormonal imbalance, you're telling your body that all of your hormones are imbalanced, and that's not true. Some of them might be. If you're specific and you say my estrogen is imbalanced, then you are telling your body what it needs to work on, rebalance, and fix because your body listens to your thoughts, your body listens to your words. There's a really interesting book called The Biology of Belief, which explains that in much better detail than I can. But it's really, it kind of, it's the science behind affirmations, it's the science behind positive talk. Your body's cells are reactive to your thoughts. If you tell yourself to heal, your body responds and creates more white blood cells and moves in that way. If you tell your body you've got a problem in your liver, white blood cells go to your liver. That's the importance of being intentional in how we speak. So when you say you have a hormonal imbalance, what do you specifically mean? And that will not only help you, but it will help me tell you what exactly you should be doing to help. I'll move on to the next one. Esme, get the unless you've yeah. Esme, you can clarify that one, and then I'll move on to the next one. But yeah, when you respond, I'll come back to it. Mitch, so should I be able to request a hormone test with my GP? Um, Yes, you should be able to. It depends which country you're in as well. Depending whether you have to pay for it. But you can usually just be specific and say you think you've got an issue with XYZ, and then you ask to be tested, and you usually get the test results pretty quickly. Um, Mike's any parasite cleanses. I'm gonna. It's unlikely you have a parasite. Would be the answer. If you do think you have a parasite, the best course of action would be to go to an emergency room and demand to see a specialist to try and find that parasite. But if you've just got some diarrhea, if you've just got some constipation, if you've just got some headaches, you probably don't have a parasite. And taking antiparasitics will make the issue worse. What you probably want is antivirals, because virals, all the things that parasites get blamed for, viruses are actually the root cause. So I would recommend an antiviral cleanse like black seed oil, like oil of oregano, like cat's claw, like the lemons balm. All of these are good options. You can find our detox kit on the website as well. It might be linked on TikTok as well. But yeah.
Another question. Anything for thyroid?
Um, For the thyroid, yes. So we do actually have a thyroid kit, and that covers a broad range of thyroid issues. If we are talking about hypothyroidism, which is probably the most popular one I see, then yes, ashwagandha is really good for it. Sea moss is really good for it. Black seed oil is really good for it. I'm seeing a notification state unstable connection. So if my sound drops or video gets blurry, let me know. Um,
Which one?
I saw on TikTok. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
stop coming in a little
okay. Uh,
bit. Just keep talking.
yeah, hopefully it comes back. Sorry guys, it seems it's the Wi-Fi thing or the lack thereof. But yeah. So yeah, CMOS is really good. It's got the iodine and the zinc, which helps to knock down any Epstein-Barr virus causing any issues in the thyroid, because pretty much all thyroid issues are caused by the Epstein-Barr virus. If not Epstein-Barr virus, it's probably going to be radiation, or you can have really adrenal fatigue, which can mess up your cortisol, which can create a negative feedback loop with your pituitary gland, which can then cause a thyroid issue. But even then, it's most likely still going to be an Epstein-Barr virus causing the stress that's caused the adrenal fatigue in the first place. So it can get a little bit circular, but that's kind of what you'd want to be doing for your thyroid to support that. But as I say, we do have a thyroid kit. The thyroid kit is available on TikTok as well, and it's on the website, and it is 30% off right now as well.
I think it's on
Um,
TikTok.
Sorry?
Can't see it on TikTok.
Okay, maybe it's not on TikTok yet, but it is on the website, and it's 30% off. Um,
Someone just asked, does he read our comments for this is some other platform?
Yeah, so we're on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at the same time. So trying to kind of keep through all the comments. Jade's here to help manage all the comments. We don't get all of them. We do try, but yeah. So just in the question above that as well, Anikla. I have ashwagandha KM66 tablets. What is the best time to take it, day or bedtime?
And you didn't join Dig it in.
Yeah, I mean, I was just saying KM66 tablets are the ones that kill emotions. In most people, they won't, so I'm not saying throw them away. It depends what you're using them for. If you're using them to try and get to sleep, I would say evening time is best, and that's 7 p.m. wind down time, depending on what time you finish work and what your routine is. But whatever that, a few hours before wind down time, before bed, that's when I would recommend it. And if it is for more energy, because again, ashwagandha is a really flexible herb, then I would say first thing in the morning with your first meal of the day when your cortisol is supposed to be nice and high, and it will moderate it that way. So yeah,
Permission to be a little bit controversial here.
what's that?
Um, Anika, I would just challenge you to go to your tablets and see what the percentage of ashwagandha is actually in your tablets, or where is it on the ingredients list.
Fair enough. We do see that quite a lot. I think the extracts tend to be better, but we'll find out. Um, Yeah, okay. So if you're using it to calm anxiety, I would probably say, unless you have a particularly stressful time that's routine in your day, like you've got the 11 o'clock meeting on a Monday, on every morning or whatever the case may be, then sure, use it a few hours before then. But if it's for general use, I would probably say around the 6 o'clock mark. But if it's for general anxiety, actually, probably in the mornings. Actually, I changed my mind. Probably in the morning
Yeah,
to
I'd say
calm
morning.
anxiety,
Yeah.
because that sets you up for the day. But if there's um, a specific moment or routine moment, then I'd do it a couple hours before that. Anything for chronic sinus infection keeps making mucus after I catch a cold. Yeah, that would definitely be the respiratory rescue kit. So that one contains black seed oil, sea moss, butterfly blue tea, and mullein leaf. Really good for its expectorant properties, helps to get mucus out of the lungs. And it's basically like the cleanup crew that just goes in there and just helps the cilia sweep for the hardened mucus, sticks it away, and gets rid of it. So yeah, you also would benefit from reducing the acidity in your diet, reduce the dairy, reduce the gluten, because all of that increases the acidity, which forces the mucus to come in to buffer that acidity. It kind of acts again as the cleanup crew. So it's there to help you, but you don't need all that mucus. So reduce the acidity, and the respiratory rescue kit would definitely help as well. And that is, as I say, 80% off on the website.
If I may again, be a little bit controversial. One thing I've noticed, and this is not to feed into Josiah's love slash hate of eggs, but one thing I've noticed that when I tend to be a little bit sinusy, a little bit mucusy, eggs definitely make it worse. So if you can cut out eggs as well when you're feeling those kind of mucus symptoms, that will help too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, eggs definitely play a role. All right, I'll move on to the next one. We've done a bit of Q&A, and then I'll get back to some more questions. So yeah, get your questions in. I'm gonna do another myth, and then we'll get back to it. All right. So, diabetes is, well, I'll kind of combine these two. Diabetes is a lifelong condition, and fruit is bad for diabetes. So, both of these things are untrue. All right. So, I've seen, I think we might be lagging on TikTok. I saw the notification saying unstable connection. Hopefully, it's leveled out, but okay. If it's not Instagram, it's TikTok. All right, we'll continue. And
Fine, fine.
okay,
Maybe because it's hotspotting.
I'm not hotspotting.
TikTok is. My first
Oh, right. Okay. Anyway, we'll continue. If I've completely stopped, let me know. Just to say as well, this will be posted on Instagram unless it cuts out again. So it will definitely be on YouTube. Actually, that's probably the best place to get the uncut version. Ah, thanks, Mitch. So yeah, if it does cut out or it goes to pot or whatever, it will be on YouTube, so you can see it there. Yes, diabetes is a lifelong condition, and diabetes and fruit is bad for diabetes. So diabetes is a lifelong condition. That is true for the medical sector because they do not care about healing diabetes. They care about managing diabetes, and they manage it effectively. They give you insulin. Well, if you're really bad, they'll give you insulin. If you are borderline diabetes, they'll give you metformin. There's a host of other diabetes medications they will give you to manage the condition. And the diet advice is switch to a keto diet. and they will. That's pretty much it. And I'm never surprised when I'm speaking to someone and they mention diabetes. They'll say I've got thyroid issues, I'm fatigued, I'm maybe overweight, I've got high cholesterol, I've got my nerves are hurting, I've got joint pain, and it's always an afterthought. Oh yeah, and I've got diabetes. Oh, and I was diagnosed with diabetes 10 years ago. Diabetes, the way, because there's no priority on trying to actually reverse it, and the idea of reversing it kind of just goes out the window. People forget to remember that diabetes actually causes so many other issues. Neuropathy, bad sleep, cortisol problems. Diabetes can cause so many hair falling out. Diabetes can cause so many different things. We need to treat that as a primary issue. If we sort out the diabetes, a lot of the other stuff goes away. Keto diet is not going to sort diabetes because when we understand what diabetes is, a keto diet can't heal it. Diabetes is a liver problem. It's not a pancreas issue. Your liver can't produce enough glycogen. Your pancreas then has to step in. Your pancreas gets tired. Your body it then produces too much insulin. Your body gets resistant to the insulin, and then the pancreas gets blamed for producing bad insulin. That's not the problem. If the liver can produce glycogen when it's supposed to, if it gets unburdened, the pancreas can return to normality, and then you don't get diabetes. If you cut out the fat, you don't have the adrenaline mixing with the fat, which is poisoning the pancreas further, worsening your diabetes. So, keto diet is pure fat, protein, and fat. It's got some green vegetables in there as well. So it depends how you do your keto diet. So some people can see results if it's kind of 90% vegetables with a bit of steak or something like that. But that's not how most people do keto. They say, "Ah, lovely, I can do. I haven't got bread, but I've got all the fat in the world. So I'll do the butter, and I'll do the grass-fed butter, and I'll do the steak, and I'll do the chicken. I'll do a few bits of broccoli." But that's not what we need to be doing. What we need to be focusing on is actually sugar, ironically. We need to be focusing on the right type of sugar, though. We need to be focusing on root vegetables. So that would be yams, potatoes, sweet potatoes, purple yam, butternut squash, winter squash, pumpkins. All these root vegetables give your liver the carbohydrates it wants in the right way. Um, so we need to change this narrative about sugar and the effect it has on diabetes. Yes, of course, eating sweets and a packet of Haribos is not going to do you any favors. Yes, loading up on white bread and pasta is not going to do you any favors. That refined sugar is making your diabetes worse. But fruit sugar is not making your diabetes worse. Fructose does not require insulin to enter your cells. When glucose is metabolized in fruit, because it has the ash minerals, because it has the potassium, because it has those alkaline minerals buffering the process, when your body has oxygen, it doesn't turn into the lactic acids and the uric acids, which bog down your kidneys and bog down your liver. That doesn't happen. You can use that body and it just goes straight to ATP. Fantastic. Good combustion. That's what happens. So we need to be upping our ash minerals. We need to be getting our green leafy vegetables because they give us the ash minerals. We need to be upping our fruit because that's ash minerals. It's giving us fructose, energy we can actually use. It's giving us healthy glucose. We want to be using root vegetable carbohydrates. Same thing again, giving the liver what it actually wants. Cut out the fat. That's what we need to stop there. Okay.
So just off the back of what you said, so a healthy liver can sort diabetes.
A healthy liver can sort most people's chronic issues because the liver is the problem when it comes to healing. The liver is the most important organ in your body. Obviously, you can't live without your brain, of course. You can't live without your lungs, of course. You also can't live without your liver, so that's not a great ruling out factor. If your liver stops working for you, you die. Your liver is the unsung hero. It filters blood. It has over 2,000 jobs in the body. So, yes, is the answer. Simple answer to that question. We do also have a diabetes kit, which focuses on repairing your insulin sensitivity. It focuses on cleansing the liver as well. So that is also available on TikTok as well. It's also available on the website, and most importantly, it's also 30% off. Great time for you to start to really dig into these chronic health issues, buy the kit, and really take the next step on that healing journey. Darb,
That's the same person who asked a question, so yeah, go ahead.
what Darb?
Yep.
Oh, I wish I had the info you're saying right now so I can buy the correct foods. Yeah, I mean, it's simple. Just anything colorful is good. Root vegetables is good. Fruit is good. We do also do diet reviews now. They've newly launched on the website. If you go to the consultations page, they are pretty cheap. They start from £25. But it's basically an opportunity for you to write down everything you are eating. And I go through on a traffic light system and say, stop eating this because of this reason, start eating that because of this reason, with some recommendations of other foods that you should be adding as well. But yeah, if that's kind of where you are in your health journey, before you buy any herbs, I would most recommend a diet review. Just because if your diet is not quite right or you're making simple mistakes with the diet, like eating eggs, like eating the red meat, like eating the steak, it's really hard to see results. And you know, my life is easier. Everyone is better off if you are healing. So that's what it's all geared towards. There's no agenda. There's no veganism. There's no alcohol. It's not about that. It's just about what is the best thing to see results, and that's based on research and what I see in practice. And I've never seen anyone say they healed their diabetes with a keto diet. I have heard people say, I got diagnosed with diabetes, I turned my diet around and cleaned it up, no processed food, stopped eating the red meat, stopped eating eggs, and my diabetes was gone in 3 months. I have heard that one countless times. So
I've also heard I was pre-diabetic, followed a keto diet, and then became diabetic.
I've heard that one too. Or I was pre-diabetic, followed the keto diet, came down a bit, and then shot up, and now I'm diabetic, and now it's just kind of stable, and I'm taking the medication, and now my kidneys have gone. I've heard that one a lot as well. So yeah, well, amazing, Dab. Glad to hear the information is useful and insightful as well.
Another question for you.
Yes.
What would you suggest for hormone replacement and also metals detox going through menopause?
So yeah, if you're going through menopause, hormones replacement, yeah. Do I recommend HRT? I think it's a tricky one. Lots of women experience great benefits doing HRT. That's a fact. No one can deny that. You know, certain types of HRT have side effects, and we mitigate those side effects. If you are taking an oral HRT, which I hear less often now, most women that I speak to, when they are on HRT, it's usually a gel. But I would say avoid the oral HRT because it goes through the liver, and when it goes through the liver, it can cause liver issues. One of the other issues with HRT is that it is linked with higher risk of endometrial cancer. Now, if you have had your if you've had a hysterectomy, less of a concern. If you have had hormone sensitive issues in the past, I'd probably stay away from it. Now, an upgrade on HRT or a gel form of HRT would be BHRT, so that's bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. Now, that is better because your body can synthesize the hormones better. But the problem with that one is there's not much evidence, there's not enough data. It's only been around for about, I want to say, 10, 20 years. So you're beholden to the quality of your practitioner, and the evidence just isn't there yet. So before doing HRT, and I only really recommend, I don't recommend HRT
This
as.
is my fault. They want natural. They don't want.
Oh, right, okay. I think it's still relevant because, you know, if there is a pharmaceutical solution that solves the problem and is more effective, then I'm not going to say don't do that just to be natural. So it's still relevant to have this knowledge and information. If you are to the point where, you know, debilitating symptoms are ruining your life, which is the case for a lot of women, then HRT is or BHRT can be a viable solution. And especially if you've had a hysterectomy, there's not too many downsides. At least that's what the data says. The natural way. We do have a menopause mend bundle, and the reason we have that is because most women's menopausal suffering is nothing to do with hormone. Well, let me not say that. It's not caused by hormones. You usually have an underlying issue, and when the hormones drop, you lose your protective shield, and what was being covered by the hormones is now revealed, and then that's where the bone loss comes from. That's where the brain fog comes from. That's where the frozen shoulder comes from. That's where the hot flashes come from. That's where the fatigue comes from. Did I say the brain fog? But yeah, that's where it comes from. That would be the progesterone. And we can identify each of these symptoms to the drop in a specific hormone that reveals the issue. But we can also say there's another issue. If you have brain fog, because you probably have heavy metals, which you've asked about, and you probably have a herpetic virus releasing viral neurotoxins if it's progressing fast. Because not only are you losing the progesterone, which is providing your resilience to stress, you're also losing estrogen, which is an immuno enhancer. It is also immunosuppressant as well. It does kind of do both, but it does help fight viruses. So that would be a reason why if it's skyrocketed in menopause, it's most likely you have an underlying viral issue. If you have the frozen shoulder, yes, a loss in testosterone will reduce the structural integrity of your shoulder, but you probably also have a chronic viral issue because it's leaching the calcium from the bones. Maybe you were doing apple cider vinegar for the last 10 years. Maybe you have anemia or something like that, chronic anemia, which would also be supportive of an underlying viral issue. If you've got the hot flashes, that's suggestive of a sluggish liver because all of hot flash is your liver expunging toxins out of it. So it's important to identify what is the actual underlying symptom. We do have a menopause mend kit which simplifies all of that because it kind of addresses all of the common symptoms, especially the ones I've just mentioned. That one is the Shilajit, the lion's mane, the Dongquai, and the ooh, what's the other one in the menopause men bundle? Uh, it's definitely. I think it is just. Maybe it's just. I think it's just three products, isn't it? Yeah, it's the lion's mane, the Shilajit, and the Dongquai. I thought there might have been four in there, but no, it's just those three. They cover the bases. The Dongquai is really supportive for regulating your hormones on their way down. The Shilajit is great for the brain fog. It's great for your bones as well. And the lion's mane is fantastic for the brain fog. The sea moss could also get an honorable mention to help support the joint pain as well. The butterfly pea flower would also get an honorable mention. So there's lots of different ways to build up that kit, but that would be the starting point, which we could then go through. But if you had specific symptoms, then I could be more specific about which herbs I would recommend.
So just to clarify, I'll put in the comments, menopause men, butterfly pea.
And sea moss. It would be like the complete starter pack basis. But then it's also the diet as well. We don't do anything just supplements. So there's very few instances where just supplements is gonna make all the difference when we're dealing with chronic healing. So yeah, and in terms of, I suppose I didn't touch on the heavy metals. For the heavy metal, spirulina is your best option. The Shilajit does also collate heavy metals. The sea moss does also collate heavy metals, but the spirulina would be the primary one because it collates the metals in the brain, the liver, and the nervous system. So three key areas where that heavy metal buildup causes the most damage. Mitch, what would you recommend for menopausal with symptoms of hair thinning? So yeah, similar to what I was just discussing with the hair thinning, sorry, with the menopause symptoms. I guess the hair thinning is typically due to adrenal fatigue. So yes, the drop in hormones play a role, but your adrenals kind of control your hair growth. So the ashwagandha is something I'd recommend primarily with that. If it's kind of you want something to apply to the hair itself, then Batana butter would be top of the list. We do actually have a hair restore kit, but if you think this is part of the menopause symptoms, which it may be nothing to do with, then yeah, ashwagandha and Batana butter would be a good place to start with it. The lion's mane that's in the menopause men bundle is also helpful, but I'd probably just build my own bundle and I would do Dongquai, I would do Shilajit, I would do ashwagandha. I would do sea moss and light. I'd do sea moss. That's probably what I'd do. You could add the lion's mane in. If brain fog is more of an issue, add the lion's mane. If joint pain is more of an issue, add the sea moss. Is what I would
Is
say.
this for Jackie still?
That was Mitch.
Oh,
Mitch asked a
okay.
different question. The Shilajit will cover the fatigue as well. Okay, I think that covers it. Yeah, we do sell that. So yeah,
I'm
Jacqueline.
sending her some links.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, Jay's just gonna send you a link. Um, Earth's Angel, how much is it? It depends which one. So the menopause mend is, I want to say, £40, 44,
44.99.
44.99. And then, yeah, if you want to add the other herbs, they're between £10 and £20 each. So it depends kind of what you want to go for. Yeah, good, Joyce, good question. Moringa, I'm assuming that's in relation to the menopause, and I'd say moringa is beneficial. It's not kind of primary. If gut health was one of your, or is constipation or something like that, which is not a less typical menopause issue, then I would recommend the moringa. Of course, the moringa is still going to be good for you because it's just a really good all-rounder. But because it's an all-rounder, when we're talking about specialist issues, it kind of falls to the wayside a little bit. But that's not to say the moringa isn't a great option, and it's not to say you wouldn't benefit from it. Okay, we'll do a few more. I always write down more than I'm going to get through because we always get so many questions, which
Let's
is
do
good.
part two.
We'll do a part two.
Mm.
All right, so we'll probably what time do we go on? About what time do we go on?
You're gonna have 45 minutes.
45. All right, we'll do one more. We'll do one more health fact, and we'll probably save the rest for a part two on Sunday, and then we'll probably just do a few more Q&As, and then wrap it up on the hour. So yeah, get your questions in now. You got 15 more minutes. All right, I like this one. Um, High cholesterol requires statins. Um, this is definitely not true. Definitely not true. High cholesterol, when I hear people say, oh, I've got high cholesterol, I've got high blood pressure, even diabetes, and they treat it like lifelong conditions where they take the medication, they say, I've been on the medication for 20 years. I feel terrible because it's just a lack of information. I don't know if Jam's on today, but Jam, who is a customer, I'm not. It wasn't even our herbs that did it, or maybe she was taking. No, she was taking some sea moss and spirulina. Oh, Mother Nature's gift bundle, I think.
Yeah, look at that.
But I've seen it without the herbs as well. 2 weeks, she reversed the high blood pressure. 2 weeks. So when I see people on high blood pressure medication for decades, did I say high cholesterol or high blood pressure? I think I said high cholesterol, didn't I? I say it's the same thing because the high cholesterol usually causes the high blood pressure in a lot of cases. Stress can also cause that high blood pressure. Magnesium deficiencies can also cause that high blood pressure as well. Um, but yeah, just a quick question. Actually, I've seen it before I forget. Mitch, the difference between moringa seed and moringa leaf, they are both really good. The moringa seed is a bit more convenient to eat and it's richer in certain minerals like magnesium and zinc. The moringa leaf is richer in vitamin C. So it just depends what kind of you're looking for. I think if you Google the difference, then the top result will be a study which actually shows you the difference and you'll see which specific minerals it's higher in. But yeah, okay. So yeah, the high cholesterol. We do when I hear people on statins for decades, when I hear people on blood pressure, what's it called? The name slipped me. But yeah, when I hear people on blood pressure medications for amlodipine, that's the one, for 20 years, I just think, what are the doctors doing? There's so much good work doctors do in terms of saving lives. Yeah, to tell people how to get over high blood pressure, we can't do that. You want to keep you on medication to damage your kidneys for decades? Really? We're just such simple advice. 2 weeks. 2 weeks, Jam reversed it. And that's not an anomaly. That's not crazy. Anyway. So when we're talking about high blood pressure or high cholesterol, as I said, there's a few different causes. When we're talking about high blood pressure, it can be a magnesium deficiency, it can be high stress. More often than not, it's high cholesterol. When we're talking about the whole cause of high cholesterol, we can talk about why high cholesterol develops. When you eat sugar, when you eat that glucose, the liver stores it. I mean, there's a few steps in between which I'll skip, but the liver stores it as triglycerides. Now, those triglycerides will go and be stored around your muscles, stored around organs to be used as fat. Now, when the glycogen can't be used as an energy reserve, then you burn those triglycerides to use it for energy. When you don't use it for energy, the triglycerides store, build, fat cells grow, and then you get high cholesterol, or that can be a form of high cholesterol. Or that visceral fat grows in the arteries, and then you get high cholesterol, to be more specific, because you can just get visceral fat, and some people will have high visceral fat without high cholesterol. When it does manifest itself as high cholesterol, that's what's happened. So yes, Mitch, your mother can most definitely reverse high blood pressure and high cholesterol. The fact that's even a question, this isn't you specifically, but the fact that is even a question highlights the issue, because this information is not. I'm not asking you to run 10 kilometers a day and become a raw vegan. That's not what's required here. Um, I imagine she's on statins if she has high blood pressure. Well, it depends if you're in the US or the UK, but statins are usually what's sort of prescribed in the US. Even aspirin is like a form of statin or blood thinner. That's often prescribed to take daily. Even in the US, when people have diabetes, they get prescribed aspirin daily. Don't ask me why. I don't get it. So it doesn't work, by the way, because it's the same medication for decades. So yes, when we are talking about high cholesterol, statins get recommended, and there are actually studies which show Brazil nuts are more effective than statins. Yes, Brazil nuts. So Brazil nuts lower cholesterol by 20 points in one day, just in one day. Don't go crazy with the Brazil nuts. 4 Brazil nuts is enough to do the trick. Walnuts are also really good. The same study, well, not the same study, but there's also another study which shows 7 grams of walnuts also are more effective than statins. They also lower the blood pressure more. And while statins increase your diabetes risk, walnuts and Brazil nuts lower your diabetes risk. So again, I'm not asking you to do anything mind blowing or crazy here, just super simple things. Brazil nuts, walnuts, ashwagandha is the best herb for blood pressure because it attacks it on all bases. It improves your mitochondria. It reduces cortisol, which, as I said, is a cause of diabetes. And it also is a source of nitric oxide to help expand your blood vessels so there's more space. More space, less pressure. And it also helps to lower your LDL cholesterol, your bad cholesterol as well. Right. Oh, right. From TikTok.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what I said. Um,
Exaggerating,
oh, I was
apparently.
exaggerated. All right, TikTok doesn't like the information. Too real, I guess. Okay, so yeah. What else can we do for high blood pressure? Dark leafy green vegetables. When we're talking about blood pressure, dark leafy green vegetables help with the magnesium and solves that side of things. Again, they also help to lower bad cholesterol and increase good cholesterol. When you're talking about more herbs that can help, black seed oil will help because it helps curb the blood sugar spike to stop the triglycerides being built up. We've actually done a post yesterday talking about heart health, but that's really talking about cholesterol and blood pressure when we talk about the source issues of heart health. All of those foods on there. So have a look on that. That's on Instagram for everyone on TikTok. And that just gives you loads of foods that you can eat, 15 foods, and pretty easy to follow. Moringa, did I say moringa is also good? Black seed oil is also good. Shilajit is also good. My intention is to actually make a blood pressure and blood cholesterol, a high cholesterol kit as well. So those will hopefully be coming in the next coming weeks, but you can get the information correctly. Ashwagandha, moringa, black seed oil, shilajit, these are all really good herbs. Sea moss as well, but ashwagandha is definitely top of that list. If you have high blood pressure, don't take licorice root, is what I would say. Circling back, licorice root is also another really good herb for the adrenals, but not to be recommended with high blood pressure. Um,
I don't think you let me type on this anymore.
Damn, they really didn't like that segment. Okay, we're talking about, so did we mention both of them? Yeah, high blood pressure. You want herbs that boost nitric oxide. So beetroot is also really good. Turmeric is good. So all these herbs. But yeah, refer to the most recent post on Instagram that's talking about um, heart health. Blood cleanser. Yes, we actually have a blood builder kit. So the blood builder is essentially a blood cleansing kit. That one has the Dong Quai, fantastic blood builder. It also has the testing my memory now. Maria is in there. Milk thistle is in there, and I think it's black seed oil in there. Could be sea moss. Both are really good. And yes, those are the herbs I'd recommend for blood building. That's also 30% off right now.
Just circling back, so Earth Angel said people with allergies maybe need more information, which is funny because he is allergic to nuts himself.
Allergies on which herbs to avoid or
I
what they
think
can
when you were
do
talking
for their
about
allergies.
cholesterol and you were talking about nuts and stuff,
Oh,
that's what I was
right.
talking about.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, yeah, no Brazil nuts for me. This is why I gave all the other suggestions. I would say refer to the Heart Health post, and that will give you loads of alternatives. Where can you buy? Well, TikTok are violated, so I would say TikTok Shop, but you can also go on our website, and the same as our name. Or maybe Jade can type an answer. I don't know if she can.
Right, I just said TikTok product for those.
Yeah,
No.
cool. What is so MSQH? No, I'm not gonna try. What is black seed oil good for? So yeah, black seed oil. I feel like a little while since I've sung black seed oil's
It
praises,
has been, isn't it?
but yeah, really good for going after all of the bacteria that cause most people's chronic suffering. So if we're talking strep, Epstein-Barr virus, HSV, cytomegalovirus, HHV6, staphylococcus, all of these issues, it helps to alkalize the small intestine, it helps to acidify the large intestine, it helps to acidify the skin, helps to fight skin conditions like eczema, psoriasis, scleroderma. It helps the thyroid as well. You name it, it's probably going to help because it does go after all of the bacteria that causes most people's chronic issue. Why 123? Can you take moringa without chewing? You can. I do recommend chewing it because it makes it more bioavailable. But you can chew it if you hate the taste.
Someone asked a question earlier. Someone with swollen legs and probably the root of the problem comes from the liver.
That is true. That's a statement, I guess, not a question.
Yeah.
It's true. Yes, the liver is your kind of macro filter, and when your macro filter gets clogged or blocked, then your microfilter, which is your lymphatic system, will um, have to step in, and then the macro block the things that have blocked the macro filter then end up blocking your lymphatic system. That stops your lymphatic flow. That's where you start to get the lymphedema, swollen legs, swollen ankles. So that's a sign that your liver needs help, and I'd recommend the liver cleanse kit, which is 30% off right now.
Uh, Someone asked a question. Can you chew? Can you take moringa
I
without
asked that
chewing?
one.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is that a follow-up question to that question?
You
The
take
stomach acid breaks it down.
yeah.
Yeah, stomach acid will break it down, but similar to kind of the reason why you chew food, it just helps the digestion process. The more you chew, the more surface area it is, the easier it is for your stomach acid to break it down, the more your kind of nutrients can be extracted out of it before it gets pushed through to the large intestine. So that's why I would recommend chewing it. You can still get some nutrients out of it, but you're making just getting more out of it by chewing it extensively. Can you take black seed oil every day? A teaspoon is safe. I would recommend just cycling it 3 weeks on, 1 week, 3 weeks on, 1 week off, um, is what I would recommend. Um, if you are dealing with like a chronic health issue, then you can, or you're doing a healing dose of say 2 teaspoons, then I'd recommend 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. Just check in on Facebook. Is there a difference between taking liquid black seed oil or black seed oil in a pill? Typically, in a pill, you're not really getting a teaspoon, so you're not getting a potent dose. So I'd recommend it from a liquid. Just
Um,
covered that one.
Allergic to Brazil nuts and walnuts only. All other nuts are okay. Is that normal? Also, what's good for clearing the arteries if you're a smoker?
If you're a smoker, I would most recommend the respiratory rescue kit. So the spirulina is going to be really important to detox heavy metals, the black seed oil, the butterfly pea flower. But yeah, the respiratory rescue kit is going to be the best thing for you. I would say the mullein and the sea moss. Specifically cleansing the arteries, then I'd probably look to milk thistle for that one, moringa because that's a blood filter. So all the toxins from the smoke as well is going to help with that.
Also, it is normal to only be allergic to some nuts and not all nuts.
Yeah.
Same with this one.
What about Hashimoto's guidance to avoid IED and ashwagandha? So with Hashimoto's, it's an Epstein-Barr issue attacking the thyroid. So we want to be going after the Epstein-Barr. So I would recommend black seed oil. ingesting that. I'd recommend oil of oregano topically. I would recommend licorice root if you don't have high blood pressure. And I'd recommend spirulina also to go after the heavy metals. And I would recommend sea moss. Yes, it is higher in iodine, but even well with Hashimoto's, it's a hypothyroid issue. So you do want iodine. You do not want to be avoiding iodine. Ashwagandha is also beneficial because you want your thyroid to be functioning, and you want to be going after the Hashimoto's or the Epstein-Barr virus separately to that. Okay. Uh, any other question? Debbie, help. My kidneys need help. We will actually be launching a kidney cleanse kit this week, depending what your specific kidney issue is. But generally, I would say moringa, sea moss, and black seed oil are the best kidney options to buffer the minerals, to prevent the buildup of stones, help its filtration as well, remove the sludge in the bottom of those kidneys. Those are the best herbs to do that. Um, okay. All right, guys. I think we're gonna start. Which country? I just just that
I
last one.
answered.
Okay, yeah. Well, that's the dollars from Turkey. Debbie, the website is magictreesuperfoods.co.uk. That's probably going to be the last TikTok violation we get, so I'm going to wrap it up now. Thank you everyone for joining. Just some housekeeping points or some things to make sure you're aware of. Yeah, lives are every. I mean, I know we've got some new people joining every time from YouTube and Facebook. Got some regulars from TikTok and Instagram. Thank you to the regulars. Welcome to the new people. We do these lives every Wednesday and Sunday, travel permitting. I think we're good for the next few weeks. But yeah, every Sunday and Wednesday around this time, we're live. We're giving you a chance to ask the questions and get the live feedback. Um, Mr. Pope, I can't on Instagram. I can't see your question, what it was. Just if you could you retype it, might have got lost further down. But yeah, if you just retype that whilst I'm wrapping up, then I can just quickly answer it. Um, Copper water bottles. I actually saw a video about that today. I have a strong opinion. I haven't done any research specifically into copper water bottles. Generally, I don't like drinking out of metal because heavy metals leach into liquids more so than even plastic, so I avoid it. And just because copper is a conductor, just because copper is got some videos going around about it, that doesn't mean the manufacturer of that copper water bottle is not going to have any other alloys in there. Doesn't mean it's not going to have any toxic heavy metals in there. And especially if you're putting hot water in there, those heavy metals are going to go straight into the water. So generally, I like to avoid drinking out of metal. Generally, I prefer glass. Glass is my favorite. Um, but yeah, uh, if you have a gold tooth, depends if it's pure gold. If it's pure gold, it's going to be fine. Yeah, but if it's a gold alloy, then potentially not. Again, I can't say I've researched too much into gold teeth, but yeah.
Someone's asked, I have a feeling something trapped in my throat. I had lipoma removed from my spine last year in July. My doctor gave me antibiotics, Moxil or Moxicil, I don't know what that one is, but it has not worked. What do you recommend?
Sorry, what's the issue? Sorry, a lipoma trapped in the throat.
I have feeling something trapped in my throat. I had lipoma removed from my spine last July.
Right.
Doctor gave me antibiotics, but it's not worked.
Hey Ross. Yeah, I'd probably need more information in terms of what the blockage in the throat is, because it could be how long has it been there? It could be you ate some fish, scratched your throat, and you're feeling that lump still. It doesn't necessarily mean something's there. It could be a hiatal hernia. It could be Barrett's esophagus. It could be a thyroid issue, nodule. Could be so many different things. I couldn't possibly just say from a lump in the throat. I'd recommend seeing a ENT specialist and seeing if you can get a diagnosis. Then with that diagnosis, we can give a more thorough protocol in terms of what can actually help the issue as opposed to just speculating and potentially making it worse or just going in circles. That is what doctors are really good at, telling you what your issue is. Fixing the issue is a separate question. But in most cases, if you know what to ask for and get the test or see the right specialist, they'll be pretty good at giving you a diagnosis, which we can then work with and refine and go from there. So it's not a case of, with the natural side of things, people are like, well, I don't go to the doctors and take pride in that. I don't subscribe to taking pride in never visiting doctors because doctors aren't out to get you for the most part. You should be discerning with the information they give you, particularly if they're trying to give you medications for things, because most of the time they're going to give you medications for things that don't require medicating. But that doesn't mean you can't use them to get test results. It doesn't mean you should run away because in an emergency you do need doctors. So yeah, I don't subscribe to taking pride in never seeing the doctor at all. So in this specific example, definitely see the ENT specialist. And I recommend being a pest to your doctor. Always be there. Know what your blood levels are. Know what your thyroid levels are. Know what your blood sugar is. Know what your cholesterol is. Know if you have high blood pressure. Because, as I always say, you need to be the master of your own body. You need to know your test results. You need to know what's going on, what's going wrong. Otherwise, if you can't communicate to someone what's going on, how are they supposed to be able to help you? And you need to, be able to control that narrative. Because if you go to one specialist, they refer you to someone else, and they're speaking in doctor language, and you don't know what they're saying. They might be completely misrepresenting your symptoms. You might be saying, I've got horrible stomach ache. And then when they pass you over to the specialist, they just say, yeah, mild stomach pain. Or they just completely forget, because that does happen as well. You need to be able to communicate what's going on. So you need to kind of, I'm not saying you need to be an expert and understand all the jargon, but you need to kind of, especially if you are someone who is chronically sick, where you are dealing with debilitating symptoms. Don't just be a sheep and a slave to the system. Take some control back. Listen to sessions like this. Get the basics. Building your own knowledge, so you can help yourself, basically.
I
Um,
also think it's good to have someone else in the room with you. So I know sometimes when you are with a doctor asking questions or even trying to challenge something that you've heard, if you feel like it's not particularly right, can be a bit daunting. So take someone with you to appointments as well to just have that extra bit of encouragement.
yeah, 100%. Whenever I'm at the doctor, I'm always asking questions.
It's always good to ask questions.
And sometimes they're a bit taken aback,
Mm.
but it's like, well, if they're not giving me good answers, why on earth should I listen to them at the end of the day? Because especially now, a lot of the time you go to the doctor and they're just Googling the symptoms and getting the results the same way you do. So it's not like, obviously, the doctors have an education. I'm not saying they're clueless. I'm not saying they don't know what they're talking about, not for 1 second. But that doesn't mean they care about you as an individual. And that's a very different situation because the difference between you getting the help you need may just be you getting fobbed off. And knowledge does not equal care. And that care might be asking you some follow up questions to actually get to the point where they may have been able to give you a better diagnosis. So, yeah, that's all a bit of a tangent, but relevant information.
Yeah. Be a pest, like
Be
I
a
said.
pest. I always recommend be always be there and always be a pest if you can.
It's always better to think something is wrong and be told that you're not, or have a test done and confirm otherwise, than just ignore it.
100%. And the other important thing is if there is something wrong, if there is a cancer growing or a tumor or something that is or an autoimmune condition, whatever the case may be, the quicker you do find it, the more even if you are I do not want to touch big pharma medication. I'm not interested in what they've got to tell me. The quicker you find it, the more effective the natural approach will be. So it still makes sense to be a pest and be there and get your test and get everything that you do feel wrong checked anyway. Um, okay, I was waiting on a question to come in because someone was asking for me to answer. Oh, that was M Loper. Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, M Loper, if you've got your send us an email once you have done that test, and we can try and help from there. Yeah, Mitch, great to see you attend your mum's doctors and hospital appointments. The craziest thing is, right, my mum's a nurse, and even a nurse with her information and knowledge, nurse for 40 years, she'll still just go to a doctor's appointment, get told to do the thing, and just be like, okay, whatever. But for whatever reason, when it comes to your own health, you tend to just take this blasé approach of just, yeah, okay, well, I'll just do what they tell me. If it was your dog and the vet's telling you to do something, people show so much more concern. They're like, oh, why do they need to do this? Is that right? Maybe I should get a second opinion. But when it's your own health, it's just, okay, just plod along and just do it. It's really strange. Yeah, Blanco, you can eat and still be healthy. You do not need to be a raw vegan to be healthy. That's not the case. Okay, cool. Back to wrapping up. Yeah, hopefully you found this session interesting. Hopefully you learned something. Great to see some saying that you have. This will be posted on Instagram. So if there's anything, if you joined late or you missed some of the earlier myths or you wanted to hear back the information, because that's always super helpful too, to just build back your own knowledge. And this will be posted. This will be posted on Instagram, so you can check it out there. Okay, the sale continues. We are still 30% off on all our healing kits. I think that hasn't been applied on TikTok Shop, but if not, it will be. It is live on the website, the sale. So you just go to the no, not TikTok tab, the Cyber Monday tab, and it's there. So I was reading the question at the same time I was talking. ABC coloring. Pardon me.
I was just saying we were sent a guide, but go ahead.
Yeah, I ordered your fibroids kit. Any suggestions? Yeah, keep an eye out for the guide that should have been emailed to you. It might have gone to your trash folder or junk folder, so check that too. It should have come from our email address. If you haven't received it, let us know. We can resend it. But that gives you all the information in terms of what causes the problem, what herbs you can, well, the herbs obviously in the kit, on the diet side, what foods to avoid, what foods you should be eating. Yeah, comprehensive one pager. The other things that you should be watching out for, the other toxins. We're looking to roll those guides out. Oh, great, you read it. Okay, so if you had any questions, then yeah, fire away. You've got till for the next couple of minutes before this live wraps up. But yeah, we're looking to roll those one pages out on all the kits just to give you all the information so that when you do get the kit, you know how to use it and also how to drive the best results with it as well. Yeah, for acidosis, am I saying your name ML Pope or is it MI Pope? Anyway, what I would recommend is check out the live 3 sessions ago. We did a whole live on acidosis, hypoxia. Well, I suppose it was hypoxia, touch on acidosis. We have done a whole live on acidosis before. I've made videos on acidosis. You want alkalizers, you want your green leafy vegetables, you want your root vegetables, you want fruit and vegetable high in color. And then you want to reduce your fried foods, processed foods, dairy, things that ferment. You want to increase your oxygen uptake as well because oxygen thrives better in alkaline environments and they kind of work synergistically. So yes. Sorry, ABC. I thought you say you already read the one pager. You said, can I get the one page or ordered already? If you ordered in the last 2 weeks, oh, you said you read it. Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean there. Okay, seeing a few more questions coming in, but it's 2:30, so in the morning. I'm gonna wrap up here. If you have any other questions, do shoot an email over, and we'll do our best to get back to you. We will also be live again on Sunday, so feel free to join that session and get the questions in.
Part two, right?
Marcia, we do have a bloating kit. It's also 30% off. It's live on TikTok Shop as well and on the website if you're not in the UK, so check that out. Yeah, we'll be live on Sunday doing a part 2, just going through more of these health issues. Sandy, Facebook is not the best messenger platform, unfortunately. If you could email or go through the website chat function.
In Facebook now? Facebook.
Sandy Moore. No, they're on TikTok saying they messaged on Facebook.
Right, yeah, no.
Guys, we are. I'll just say this will be the final point. Sunday will be around the same time. It'll be around 2-3 o'clock UK time. Guys, unfortunately, we are inundated with Instagram DMs. We literally spent, both Jade and I were just sat for 2.5 hours yesterday, just going through responses to Instagram, Messenger, even just those two, not even emails. And we only got through half of them. It's a crazy amount of DMs we receive now. So if I can say it to you guys because you guys are here sitting with me for an hour, so I want to make sure you get the answers. Please do send send a message on the website. That is the best way to get a response. Physically, we can't get to all of the questions on social media. We have in kind of brought on board an AI agent to try and help filter you into the right place and answer the basic questions. So if that needs some teething issues, then please do let me know. ABC question, can I be a VA? We are actually looking for people to join the team. As I said, me and Jada sat here for 2 hours yesterday and barely even got through half of it. We are looking for someone to support. We're looking to train someone, build them up in the health space, equip them to be able to maybe even do lives like this one day, but definitely be able to answer the health questions and just understand the kind of school of health that we kind of subscribe to in Magic Tree. Kind of a condensed version of my journey, basically. We'll be paying for all the courses to get you up to speed. We'll be giving you the full reading guide. We'll be giving you the comprehensive training. I think it's a great learning opportunity for anyone who's looking to expand themselves within the health space. It's flexible. It's not going to be a full-time situation, so it will be better for someone who's looking for a flexible opportunity. It can kind of grow to wherever you can grow with it and take it to. So yeah, I don't know if I know your name, I would say your name, but ABC of Money coloring book. Please do. Well, you're on Instagram, yeah. So what could you send a actually I'll write your name down and then okay. Because there's just some questions that we have, so I'll send those over to you via a DM. I'll just call you ABC, and then you can just answer those, and then we can get to the next step. But yeah, anyone who is interested, huh? Keisha. You say Keisha?
Yeah, Keisha.
Okay, Keisha. Yeah, anyone who is interested in working alongside us, joining the mission, then please do send an email or a message on the inbox. You can send a DM, but if we don't pick it up, please do send a message on Instagram or.
I'd say just don't send a DM.
Yeah, don't do that. Just
email us, or if you go to our website at the bottom right hand corner, there is like a little chat function. Message us there. DMs, because yeah,
that's the best way.
You'll probably see it in a few days as opposed to seeing it right away.
Jesus, Papninkne. I actually want to know how that's pronounced. If you could type that out phonetically, I'd be interested. I'd like to know. But yeah, great to hear you're interested.
Mitch as well.
Oh, sweet. Yeah. Please. I was looking at a CMN course. Oh, amazing. Okay. What I would say is please do send us the email or message on the inbox. I'm going to write your name down just so I remember, but obviously that's on TikTok, but we need to message you outside of TikTok, so it's not much point me writing that down. Please do message us, Masters. Oh, great. Yeah, please do message us. We would love to have some of you on board. So, and we'll take it from there. But yeah, cool. All right. Just going to write this down actually. 1 second. Mitch. 2000. Oh, this keyboard killing me. All right, guys, we'll keep it there. Yeah, we'll be back on Sunday. Thank you for all the questions. Thank you for the interactions.
Keep an eye on stories for what time it will be on Sunday. It'll probably be earlier than this session today.
Yeah.
But keep an eye on stories.
All right, cool. Yeah, guys. Any questions? Send us a message on Instagram. Don't DM.
Send a message on Instagram, which is
sorry. Send a message on the website.
Or email us.
Don't DM. Yes. And if we haven't responded to your email, I do apologize. As I say, it's been crazy, particularly with Black Friday. Just chase us again. I'm sorry. Well, as I say, trying to make it better. But yeah, it's teething issues.
Technically, we can have 4 people on board soon.
Hopefully, yeah. Please do send us a DM. We're serious about the opportunity. So yeah, thank you guys, and we'll see you on Sunday. All right, bye guys.
Bye.